Hey gang slash team, philosopher gamer here again, and oh yay, lucky for you guys, you get to watch me playing Braid badly again. I'll talk a little bit about the gameplay. It's just me being completely retarded. I just couldn't really work out any of the puzzles, and it just left me sort of flummoxed. It's a good word, isn't it? Flummoxed. Left me a bit flummoxed as what to do, and you'll see me a lot of the time just skipping it because I just could not be bothered to work it out. I mean, a lot of the time I worked it out, and then I thought, oh no, I got to do it all over again just to actually do it. So I thought, hey, fuck that. I can't be bothered to do it. It's a complete waste of time. I wanted to talk quickly because I was playing Modern Warfare 2 earlier. Sorry I haven't got any gameplay for that, but yeah, I was playing that earlier, and I just wanted to talk about why we love Modern Warfare 2. I mean, everyone hates Modern Warfare 2, right? It's crap, they didn't give it any support, but I wanted to talk about why people hate it from a philosophical point of view. And I think the reason is this, is that we hate it, we love it, because it makes us angry. So let me break that down for you. We enjoy playing it because when we do badly we get really angry, and then that means that when we do well we're suddenly really happy. So basically, let's say you're having a crap game, start of the game, you've gone 0 and 5, yeah? 5 minutes later, and you're seriously angry. 0 and 5, beginning of the game, is a pretty appalling start for it by anybody's standards. You're like, oh no, this has just ruined it for me. I'm pissed off now. I'm gonna go and hit something, or something like that. If you're gonna go and hit something, if you're a hitter type. So the reason you're pissed off is because you died. So anyway, you come back to life, and suddenly you get your 7. You get a 7, or you get your 5, or you get your 3. Anyway, you're on a kill streak. Let's say you're using 7, 9, and 11. You get your 7, and you're like, boom, yes, 2 more. Boom, your Harrier gets you your 2. There's your payload. 2 more from your Harrier, or your payload, whichever's up, depends on how you play. Boom, there's your AC-130, and whoop, you're happy again. Yep, you're happy because you got basically, I think the kill streaks make you happy. That's pretty much it. So but you're happy because your anger has been relieved. So you get angry and then you're happy, and that's, I think, why we love Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, Death and Video Games Part 3, and Braid. So the reason I'm using Braid as the game of choice is because of the fact that there is no causality in Braid. The causes are obsolete in Braid. A cause can be changed, and the finality is non-existent. The reason, right here, yeah, I was seeing the cloud and thinking, woo, I'm gonna go. Anyway, so death. I've talked in the past couple of episodes about death as inconsequential. There are no consequences for you dying. That was the first episode. And in episode 2 we talked about fear of death. So in this episode I want to talk about the way in which people die in video games. And it's a tough one. It is a very, very tough one. Maybe we need one of those mastermind people that go and get it, but the way in which you die. In video games, your death is always your fault. They're made that way, put simply. When you die in a video game, it's always you, the player, that is to blame. In the real world, accidents happen, illnesses happen, murder happens, all sorts of things that are not your fault, but you still die. Whereas in a video game, you die and it is on you. It is your death that has caused it. I just want to, obviously, let's take a game where you're fighting loads of baddies and you're pulling the trigger, but suddenly one of them pops you in the head. I mean, you could argue, yeah, oh no, you've been murdered, just like the real world, but you've died then. And that's your fault that you've died. I mean, you've obviously not been taking cover, you obviously weren't quick enough on the trigger. I mean, whatever the reason, you've died. Obviously, in multiplayer games, it's slightly different if lag is accounted for, because it could be the reason you died is not because of your lack of skill, but because of lag. Something that was pissing me off earlier, actually, was lag. So, that's I think, it puts a bit of weight on death in video games, is that it is very much your fault if you die in a video game. You die, and you've essentially killed yourself. I realise I made quite a leap there, and that's quite a logical, sorry, rather illogical leap that I've made, but still, I think it cements the point well, that when you die in a video game, it is your fault, and there is nothing you can do about that. So I want to talk about how death affects us in video games. Put simply, it doesn't. I'm not talking about how it affects the player. We've discussed that, as in it's inconsequential, etc., etc., and all that bollocks. But it's sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. What was that? Oh yeah. So, how it affects you personally, the player. How does death in a video game affect you, the player? If it's a multiplayer game, you get fucking pissed off, and if you're a thrower, you throw the control at the TV. If you're a hitter, you hit the sofa. If you're a smasher, you smash things. Smashers, obviously. I'll do an episode on smashers, hitters, and bumpers. Anyway, how does it affect you, the player, when you die in a video game? Yeah, not a lot. Put simply, just it doesn't. Depends though. I mean, you can get pissed off, I suppose, and that'll affect you being pissed off, but for the most part, it doesn't really affect you at all. You just die and come back again. Yeah, your player's done, but unless there's some kind of emotional impact that you feel when someone dies, I mean, I doubt you remember it. And then this one, yeah, just quickly on the video here. The key, I was amazed, it's got a mind of its own. It's like a philosophical key. It wants to break the rules. Tim wants it to go this way, it doesn't want to go that way. I realised again I was getting completely retarded at this point, and I probably should have just sorted it out a little bit better. But, yeah, I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was trying to be clever, it just wasn't working. I thought he was going to jump over or something. It didn't happen. No, it didn't happen at all. Anyway, back to death, quickly. So how does death affect you? That's a question I'm actually going to put out there. If anyone has an answer to that, I think that's one of the great unanswered philosophical questions in video games, if that's even possible. The great unanswered philosophical question, how does death affect you? My opinion is it doesn't. Now, I just want to quickly do a kind of quick channel update / whatever, just to say I'm enjoying the commentary so far. I think they're going pretty well. They're definitely enjoying the death in video game series. I just wanted to say that I'm going to do a morality series, and I realise I've been focusing a lot on classical philosophers, but I'll stop. There will be some more modern ones, obviously, because it is, well, I mean, we can't discard what classical philosophers have got to say. They've got very interesting things to say, like Plato. He's a thriller. Anyway, you got a little bit of a shadow here. It's like death has a shadow. Interesting analogy for what Braid could really be about. Maybe Tim is death. Death has a shadow. He uses his shadow, controls time, manipulates things. What it could be. It could be that indeed. But we don't know. We'll have to wait for... I can't remember what's the developer's name. We'll have to wait for him to tell us what Braid is really about. Next, I think, in my indie game series, I think we're done with death for now. I will probably return to it at another point, but I think we're done with death. You know, it gets a bit depressing as well, talking about death all the time. It's like, oh no, I'm going to die, blah blah. But hey, Lucretius would say, stop being losers. Anyway, so we got the death in video games, and That once that's done, I think the next indie game's going to be maybe a bit of Gish. Don't know if any of you guys played that, but it's a good one. And maybe after that, a bit of World of Goo, definitely. World of Goo's a great game. Maybe a bit of Trine, Torchlight, any of those games. Anyway, that's about all we got time for. So keep philosophizing, keep thinking. Peace out, mofos, and I'll see you next time.